So the last few days I haven't really taken in a lot of content. Usually like anytime I'm not at work or you know, I'm awake, I got some type of content flowing. And I've not really participated much on social media. Um like if you look at Alex Jones and um you see how like up and down that guy is. Like that's what politics are, and like crypto and stock markets and all of these things, they just come in cycles. And right now people are tired of politics. Like we went in there, we voted for Trump, and then like it's up to them to do the job. Like I don't know what else we're supposed to do at this point. Like we have to live our lives. We can't just be invested like all the time into politics when it doesn't influence our personal life in a big thing. I really appreciate Infowars and what they do. Some of the things that like the theatrics is kind of like, I don't know. Like, I don't even want to like watch Alex Jones' first hour anymore because he's like, I don't even really watch it. Just listen to everything, but like, he's just like breathing slow, and he starts going. It's like, okay, just like talk about what's happening. I don't need you to go over the top. And I kind of go more to Owen Schroyer. I like Owen better anyway, but um, it's like I can't. Um, like first off, you don't. You should be selling more products. You should be selling like maybe his dad's store sells more like regular item things. You know, I kind of think that it doesn't matter anyway. So it's just kind of like I just think he needs to retire and hand off the baton onto other people. It's just like there's no. He needs to run for office. That's what he needs to do. Like, what are you going to do? Just keep having a show? Like, at some point, it's like you have all this political knowledge. Why don't you put it to the test? Why don't you actually get in there and fight in the laws and try to change laws? Like, and let somebody else pick up the baton and lead the charge and be the tip of the spear. You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying like these big content creators, like you need to start following Elon Musk and Trump. Obviously, Trump. He basically is working for nothing. I'm sure like their investments are doing okay. Like, the investments aren't doing so hot right now. The economy is not doing very well right now. Um, it was doing good for everybody, but for right now, it's not. I lost my job at the absolute worst time to lose my job. I had a great recession proof job that I lost um, because I got sick and I acquired too many points. It's on me, man. Like I acquired too many points. So stuff happens. Life happens. I was trying to get them down. I was really trying to get them down, but it's tough, man. Like they worked you a lot, and at that time my body couldn't take it. So I don't know how I'm gonna be on my feet for for like all day. We'll see how it works out, but I definitely need some type of like, what I'm thinking, some type of basic forklift job where I can be sitting down, just loading, like doing something all day, and then like a service job on top of that. Um, just to we'll see though. We'll see. Like I'll be like might not be able to find anything for a few months, and that would be very unfortunate. I might have to start doing like Uber Eats or something like that. So it's just like things are kind of slow right now, and um, I didn't apply. I didn't apply for unemployment. I didn't think I could get it anyway because like I I technically quit. I got sick. I pointed out, um, and it is what it is. So I'm moving on, and life changes, and for me, it's like constant move. I'm tired of moving. I'm tired of always feeling like I can't hang. I'm not staying in one spot. I like to stay in one spot for like a good 5 years, something like that. That would be nice, just to be like one place for a while. That's the problem, and is always moving around, and yeah, it's annoying. I hate moving. I hate it. But it is what it is, and I gotta do what I gotta do, and I shouldn't have messed with my points, man. I'm not gonna say that all of the points were taken, weren't taken because of necessity. I mean, I took sick days because my body physically couldn't do the job. I was hurt. I'm an old man. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm out there doing like work of a young man and a young brute person anyway. Um, at a pretty quick pace. Uh, all day, and it's just mind-numbingly boring. So, um, yeah, there's only so much like a body can take, really. Hopefully, there's nothing really bad that happens. I don't play no sports or do anything like that. That's what happens when you can't afford to lose work and be, you know, like stuck is like that. I like to play basketball. I like to play sports, but we can't play sports because we're afraid if we get hurt, then what? What happens to you? Like, I can't go to work. You know what I mean? And then you have all those hospital bills on top of that. Let's just say you have a really bad surgery, so it's just like I can't play sports, man. I can't do and anyways I'm kind of limited anyway because my body is like breaking down. I can barely even run, and I have like ligament problems. I don't know. I wish I could like take some stem cells or something like that to rejuvenate some of my ligaments. I think it would help out. I have some, you know, tightness in my ligaments that just plague pain in my life. It could be worse, man. My body could be in a way worse position than it is right now. So right now I'm like 25 hours into a fast. Uh, I'm like bored. I bought a lot of more weed, so like this is gonna be my last hoorah. I just went and got a bunch of like really crappy shake, really cheap stuff, and just going to do that until that's out, and then that'll be it. And I'm going to quit. I want to quit probably before the end is the month is up. I mean, I'm sure I'll be out by the time that the month is up anyway. You know, I don't have nothing to do. I've done everything I need to do. Um, when it comes to personal level, like I definitely have a lot more stuff to do, but I figure I won't have nothing to do next month either. So like I'll be next month I'll be completely sober and I won't have nothing to do, so I need to save some stuff for me to do next month. And um like just changing things over, basically throwing some stuff out, see if I can like get rid of some things, um and just get ready to downsize, and just be bare bones basically, and not hopefully I we go live in a decent area, and hopefully I can find some steady work that pays me money, and then I can hopefully get my debt down, and so I don't have to worry about this again. At least get my. It doesn't have to be all the way down, but it needs to get. It needs to be like at a sustainable level. Um, it's unfortunate. Like, um, I try to consolidate my debt, and like that consolidation is. It's like it's a blimp on your record. That's what it is, and it's like my credit score would have been pretty solid if I didn't have so much debt. You know what I mean? I had a lot of debt to begin with, so it's just kind of like my credit score was 687, something like that. But now it's taken a huge hit where they reduced my credit lines, and I really don't feel like I can rely on credit lines at this point. So it's kind of like I'm okay, I'm okay. I can be okay for a while, but like, I definitely need a place to stay, me and my kids, so we can start our life over. And it's kind of like, I would like to like go to some place new and then just like completely start over fresh, not knowing anybody, but like, it would be so cool if the the Northeast wasn't so radical. Like if they weren't radicals, I would love to live in one of those states. Like a Vermont would be sweet, or like a Connecticut. I mean, it's really expensive there, but I mean, it would be really cool to live in that area by Boston. But it's just like I don't understand why it's so radical. You know what I mean? If they weren't like just like California and Washington State are so radical, my dad was basically saying like I'm lucky I got out when I did. That's crazy. It's horrible. Um, that's not good. That's not good, man. And I liked Washington State, man. I really did. And I liked the scenery. I liked the weather. I liked that. I liked the dreariness. I even like really liked the job I had. I had my ups and downs with it. It was such a funny thing with that job. Oh my god, it was such a weird thing, like what life was doing to me at that point, where I basically moved to Washington State, didn't have a job. My dad offered. He had a big house and offered for me and my sons to stay there, and we did. So, we ended up staying there for like 7 months. I had a job as a security at a apartment place where if people were too loud, I'd have to go up and then like knock and tell them to keep it down or whatever. I was like, hell no. I did that one night and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm not doing this. I don't mind being security where I'm like walking a perimeter and making sure that, you know, nobody's trying to break in and everything's cool. I'm cool doing that, but I'm not going up to different like apartments and telling people to keep it down. Hell no. I'm not trying to get killed. So I ditched that pretty quickly and I just went to like a job seeking place and I found a job that didn't really pay me much, but it paid me. So I worked there for 2 weeks. It was just taking, um, what is it, Genie equipment off of a trailer in like the most beautiful place ever. I forgot what the name was, but it's in Snoqualmie Pass. It's where they shot Twin Peaks. It's a really famous town, and I loved working there. It was cool driving in and out of that place. The mountains. I would love to live in that area where you just see greens and then you got the river right there. Snows over there. It looks so cool. I like that scenery, man. Like the Rambo. Like I want to live in a town like Rambo. Um, that's why I want you got mountains around, something where there's mountains around, and kind of like a little sleepy town that is really quiet and I'll assimilate pretty well. So like that's my that and there's places like that in Washington State that I really enjoy. I'm sure there's places like that in Colorado too, which I would like to live in Colorado. Um, but uh, I don't know. Anyway, so like then my brother got me a job where he worked because that was like part of the thing we were talking. Like he was trying to get me a job where he worked, and yeah, I that was a rough start, man. Oh man, like I didn't know if I was gonna make it. They didn't really have much for me to do. I had to keep track of my hours and like if I was like I had to put like my hours to each boat that I worked on, and I had a it's like a lot of work keeping track of the jobs I was doing. Um, and yeah, like it took me a little bit of time to get boats in and out, but I eventually got pretty solid. Like I was working with Big Bob. Um, I was, you know, changing over whether they needed like straps and stuff like that. Like I was starting to be able to do that to get to the point where I can like lift boats out of the water. At some point, like that would have been down the road, but like yeah, that's where I would be able to be headed. Like it took Big Bob. That thing was huge. It took out 250-foot um, expensive yachts. That's what we worked with primarily, was yachts. We had a lot of yachts. So we had like the fancy boats we took out of the water, and they would be out of the water for months, and then they'd just be worked on. They need to be painted, they need to be touched up, they need to be fixed, they need the engine fixed, maintenance, all this. So like they'd be out of water for months. We'd be fixing them up. Then we had to launch him back off. One of the cool things was the ghost ship. Yeah, it is a pretty cool experience. Like, um, the anticipation when like you're all ready, everyone's ready to do their job to, get the boat strapped away, and it's a cool feeling. It's like almost like a rush, and then it's like you're outside, and maybe it's a nice day or whatever. Maybe it's a crappy day, but yeah, that was a learning experience that I really didn't really. I'm not really a mechanical person. That's my thing, is I'm not very mechanical, and it's weird for being a man. Like, I just don't like mechanical things. I just don't really have much interest in my family. Like, they know how to work on cars, and I've just never cared about cars. I never cared about the different types of cars or what they have underneath the hood. I just don't care. Like, that doesn't intrigue me not one bit. Like, my buddy, I came back here, and he's in the car club, man, and like they sit there and they meet up at different places, and they just kind of like shoot the shit, talk about their cars and admire their cars, and I just I'm like, what am I doing? This is so boring. Like, I don't care about cars, man. And uh but yeah, like, um cars are cool, man. They're cool, but it's just, for me, I don't like to drive. I don't like driving at all. I don't like being responsible for driving. I wish that transportation was so cheap and affordable and easy and accessible. Like, we need the robo taxis on the road now for like cheap, like real cheap, you know? Like, I wouldn't mind having a robot taxi that doing Uber Eats, man. It's just like, yeah, mm, you just drive me around, and I'm just like, just go in here, pick this up real quick, and then that's it. I don't like to drive. Driving is so boring, and it's monotonous, and uh, I don't know, man. I just don't care. So, um, it's it's so, like, okay, where am I? Okay, so I talked about, so what happens was I left that job. I there were some times that didn't think I was gonna make it. I ended up making it. I ended up being pretty solid. It's just like they didn't have enough work for me, and that job was a pretty humbling job where I had my brother's old locker, which he was an absolute MVP there, and then to bring me on, and I'm just kind of like the last guy on the private pile where I'm cleaning up the bathrooms, you know what I mean? And it's just kind of like demoralizing. So, um, yeah, I ended up like leaving that job for a job where I worked at for a month. I did this job where I worked in like a plumbing field where it was we had to go and look for the different parts that they asked for in a little yard that they had, and then we would give it to the customers. I did that for like a month or something. I really didn't enjoy that, but I did that for a month until like I ended up I met this one girl, and we're kind of like off a dating site, but like she referenced me a job where she works, and got me in. It was a pretty good place, a pretty good job, and um it was like after us like dating or whatever. Like, we didn't really date, you know what I mean? It was kind of like a week, if that. Like, I met up at her house, and like it's just a situation where, yeah, like I would date you for sure, but like I don't want to deal with a little kid, and you know what I mean. Like I just don't want to deal with that situation right now, and um, so like that job where uh, this is the job where I worked with my the supervisor that I was like I had a lot of interest in, but and the back and forth with that job where it was kind of like I started out at the assembly line and then I worked my way into the shipping. So like I worked in this like assembling corner beads. So like you put up the drywall or whatever, then all the corners in the rooms have this like it's like a filler basically. It's just a metal piece of it's a metal piece of metal that you stick in the corner, and then you put like basically you put putty over, so it's all smoothed off, and then I think that's how that works. So there's no gaps in the in the drywall. It's just to close off the room. So like I was making those for a little bit, and then I um, got switched over to the shipping department, which was pretty rough, man. Like when I got there, they were having a massive recall. Like holy cow! So like they were already shorthanded, so they're offloading things, and I'm over here trying to figure things out, different loading patterns, and basically and not trying to mess anything up really bad. What is a couple I had like a bunch of nicks. I came from an environment where we're just like it doesn't really matter, you know what I mean, to environments where it's like you can't hit anything. Like if you hit something you have to report it. It doesn't matter if it's a nick on a piece of cardboard that didn't cause any damage. You got to report it, and you get enough of those little reports, it's bad on you. So I had a major one though. I had a crazy one because at this time I'm in, you know, I think I'm starting to help people load trucks or whatever, and um, I'm thinking about because I'm starting to talk to her. We're talking, and it's a rough, like she's got her heels digged in. She's not like budging, but I'm keeping at it. Getting a little bit more. Oh, what's your number? She gives me her number, and we're texting more and more, and texting a lot, and finally get to the point where she actually wants to meet up and hang out. We hung out a couple times, and we really liked each other. Um, like I thought that she really digged me a lot. I mean, I think she came over to my place probably like three, four times or something like that, and um, is kind of like one time it snowed, her car broke down, and she used her brand new car that she just got to come and see me. You know what I mean? That shows like how much she liked me, and it was crazy. I'm trying to maintain a professional relationship with her at work, so nobody knows anything. And then all of a sudden, without warning, she just like goes away, and it's like, what the damn, crazy. Like I was ghosted. And then she was like, I think I messaged her like a few months later, and she said that she was seeing somebody. And it's just like I kind of figured that was happening the whole time anyway. At the end, like whenever she pretty much said sayonara to me, and it's just like okay. But so like the thing in that so like when me and her were talking, it was when I was doing bad at work. I wasn't doing good, and I was on the cusp of like losing my job. So like what happens is you can take 2 stacks with you and you'll be fine. But I went in there because I don't know what I was thinking, but I lifted up 3 and I moved back a little bit, and then the one on top fell over on top of my forklift, and that was pretty bad, pretty embarrassing. I immediately got drug tested and suspended, and like that didn't look good. That was a pretty bad spill. Having my pretty embarrassing and all that, and that was basically at my low for the job. And then I started doing really good. Like I really started rocking it. I started like going up. I just started jumping levels. Really quickly too. Like not just like I went from like starting out to basically like a level 4 in like almost a year, man. Like that's pretty good, I think. Um, but it's like I always have like a slow start on something that I've never like I'm not, whatever. So like it was funny in that dynamic because like once I started doing good at work, she started to go away. So I'm crushing it at work. I'm learning how to back up trucks. I'm learning the scrubber. I'm learning everything, how to do everything there. Basically, probably going to be a supervisor one day. And I was thinking about going to the mud plant anyway if I stayed there, because then I worked in all 3 different, you know. I just worked the night shift. That's what I was thinking about doing, So I didn't like I might see her like when she came in, but that's about it. I just didn't want to see her no more. But it'd be kind of funny working in her department. Um, so uh, if I stayed working there, and I really liked that job, man. I really liked that job. I don't know. I might have stayed in shipping. I might not have went anywhere. But that's the last job I had until I moved to Missouri. And I don't know where I'm going through all this. Why I'm talking about like where I used to work, and that job is like I really like that job, but it was just crazy in that job where I'm doing bad at the job, but like my personal life is like flourishing. It's starting to blossom with somebody I really really liked, and I had a high attraction for her, and I thought that she did too. And like I even offered to leave the job and find a different job to keep the relationship going. She said no, and I was like, dang man, because I'm sitting there. She's like a year older than me. I'm sitting there like at what is it? Like 40. She's like 41, and her kids are raised. She's basically got an empty nest now. She never let me come to her place, so like that's a big red flag. Like me not know she doesn't feel safe with me not knowing where she lives or whatever. It's just kind of weird, but um it was a weird situation, man, because like I kind of manifested her. um I wrote, she basically checked off all the list, um and that's what I'm wondering, if this whole manifestation is a thing, because because like my mindset when I came up here was scarcity. So my mindset since I've been here has basically been scarcity. And um that's what I basically have gotten. Uh you know, whether it's friendships or dating, definitely resources was a scarcity. But that's what I've That's what I thought of before I even came up here, and I'm wondering if I helped cause this by just thinking negatively, not being more positive. And I'm wondering if like if I would have went into my old job more positive, more being more chummy with the management instead of kind of I'm like standoffish, like socially, like I don't want to be bothered, and like ass kissy if things I would have got recommended for like some type of a promotion to start moving up in the company, some type of process. So, you know, most of the people, like, after the first day, um, like they were cool. Like it didn't matter that I left and at all. So that's another thing to me is like I don't feel like I have much here, and I like if I come back here, I definitely am not going. I'm tired of being a small dog, man. That's what I'm. It's really old, so like I want to be a big dog, and I don't have to like um be like a billionaire or anything like that or a millionaire. Not even close. But it'd be nice to be able to acquire a nice place. Somewhere I can always go back to. You know, somewhere where I can make a homestead. Somewhere where I can fortify myself. Um, that would be nice, and it would be nice to have a somebody in my life too, because like it's like what I'm gonna build it. I'm building all this. I'm building all this for what? Like you probably get to a point where you don't find anybody who genuinely wants to be with you without any type of transactional. Like, man, when I was dating, like there was a lot of passion, dude. I got a lot of passion. There was a lot of burning desire from the other side. So, like, that's hard to find nowadays. That's hard to find nowadays. Um, to find to a lot of men, they don't get that, and that's something that we really like. Is like that is a woman to desire us and want to be around us, and you know, and it'd be nice to have somebody to build with that has a good head on their shoulders. um, because like doing everything on your own is like it's okay, but it's like it gets old. It gets like I just kind of like want like a like home, and that home is with somebody. That's what a home is. It's with somebody. That's what a home is. Um, and just being a single guy is just like a bachelor is just like it's cool that I have a bunch of time on my hands and I don't have to be responsible, but like you can only fill your time with so much stuff until you're like, man, I'm bored, man. I want to have somebody to experience life with, to enjoy the present time with. That's what I'm saying. And it's hard to enjoy the present time when you're just by yourself thinking like ahead of like when I was working, I would be out on my day off almost like thinking about work. and wanting to get to that point at work where even though I'm on my day off, I'm thinking about the next day that is close to my next day off. Because at the end of your day off, it's like you get that experience when you're a kid and you have to go back to school. And I never hear anyone talk about this. When you go back to school and it's Sunday night. Sunday's a cool day. I remember Sunday being an awesome day. I'm watching football all day. You got Sunday night football, and you know, it's like cool that that's happening, but then it's like not cool at the same time because you have to go back to prison, and that's what it's felt like. If it's felt like I've been in prison since I've been 4 years old, I guess. And the working matrix prison. So, it's you get to the point when you get close to, like, it's cool when you get off of work, but a lot of the times, man, I get off of work and I separated my days throughout the week because the job was just too strenuous on my body, so I didn't have 2 days off in a row. Um, so like, what am I talking about? Oh yeah, you're sitting there the last night before you have to go back to work in dread. In dread. I have to go to work tomorrow. I don't want to be there. I don't want to go there. Um, and then and I used to kind of like trying to like, I can't wait to get to this point. Even though I'm already like in the last moments of my freedom. Is this freedom? I'm like in a pod, dude. Like seriously. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I've managed to survive. But I feel like I've been in a pod, man. You know what I mean? Like I can't go nowhere. Like I can't afford to do shit. Like I make enough to basically get by. It'd be nice to be able to go out and do stuff too. Have extra cash to be like, yeah, I can put some away and save, and then I can actually have a good time as well. But that's a rarity when you're at my level, man. So, what I think is gonna happen is, you're gonna have a bunch of people in the white collar industry that loses their jobs very soon, and these people are going to become basically useless eaters. That's what the WEF will come, because a lot of these people will be too good to come and do jobs that I do. They'll either refuse, they won't be able to hack it, they're not tough enough, and they're going to need to be taken care of. So, like, when you have a huge job industry loss, you gotta put these people somewhere new, or have UBI. But in order to have UBI, you have to have big sectors of the industries be automated. Okay, so like you can have a part, because we have a partial economy, we have a partial capitalist economy, partial socialist economy as it is. So we're already doing this right now. Welfare is essentially UBI. Now, expanding it when when your GDP is going backwards is probably going to be a pretty difficult transition. But that's why you need to get everyone on the blockchain, blockchain technology. What needs to happen is somebody needs to acquire a mass amount of Bitcoin. to get everyone in. Like if America, or somebody donated or gave the crypto industry a boost, kind of like the tech industry, like people that have all this cash, like Berkshire or Hathaway or whatever, or these companies with some extra cash that can invest in Bitcoin. Like that's what I would be doing. I can't believe Microsoft passed. That's a huge thing that they passed on Bitcoin. But there's other industries that have, like Tesla has, and yeah, to have all that cash, and not saying that you have to have a big stake in it. Like anybody, it's for, I think that everybody needs to have a little bit of Bitcoin. Like I say, man, if you can come up with like $50, you don't even need $50. I think you can buy some for like $10. You can buy Bitcoin for like $10, so you'll have like $9 of like $9, because there's a fee to buy the Bitcoin. Then like when you send it to your wallet, because you're gonna need to make a wallet, and you're gonna need to send it. So like, it's good to have access to it. It's good to see how the technology works, because there is value in the technology. It's a way for the internet to keep score. We need a way for the internet to keep score. We don't have that. What is it? It's the U.S. economy? No. If we use Bitcoin, it'll make everything completely decentralized. So everyone else starts jumping in because they know it's in their best interest to keep this infrastructure decentralized, to keep world peace. I'm not sure when this stuff is going to blow up, but at some point it will. Because I don't think society is going to collapse. And I could be wrong. We could have a pole shift. We could have all this type of crap that happens. And, we're not being able to sustain ourselves. And, like, I don't know, man. Like the volcano could go off. We could get hit by an asteroid at any time. Like anything can happen at any time. So, like... But I think that I seen a miracle when Trump avoided a headshot. And the chances of him doing that were so... Like, that was a 1 in a quadrillion, dude. If that's even a word. That's how much of a low probability that he survives that shot, because that kid was on point with that first shot. That first shot hit him, and he turned his head at the right moment, like somebody turned his head. But everything was like in sync. It was just like everything happened at that moment, at that timing, and for it to happen when it did. To have security have an eye on the kid and they don't take a shot, they don't know who the fuck that is. And for that cop to see a shooter up there and him to aim at him and them not to do anything, that's pretty crazy. Like they can't access, they don't have a main line that they can access and hear things that they're listening to, like a main radio station. That's pretty crazy, man. Pretty crazy. So yeah, that was, and I'm not saying like we're just going to continue and civilization can't end with either how the Bible says it's going to end, or like some type of extinction event that happened to the dinosaurs. So like, Um, who knows? But I do feel like society is protected. I do feel like humanity is protected to some extent. Especially after seeing that, because if that would have happened, I'm not sure. I think that we would be in complete civil war right now. I think it would be complete decimated as a country, decimated as a world. Like, I think that Trump's gonna lead us in the right direction, and I think we are going to be booming here. And I think that other countries should start working with us and understanding like we have helped them prosper and not to fight against us, because if it wasn't for us propping you up, you would still be a shithole. You know what I mean? Should be thankful. Um, Understand who your daddy is. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, it's like America isn't perfect, man, and there shouldn't be like there should be it should be decentralized, you know? Like it shouldn't be one leader no more. It should be a unified global effort where people work together instead of fighting against each other. Like, there's plenty of resources on this planet, man. Like, what are we fighting over? Like, why would Russia want to like conquer more when they have a ton of resources? What they need is people to come in there and help build that up. That's what they need. You know, they need innovation over there. That's what it seems like, which is crazy because like they were going to the moon with us. You know, they were battling with us. That was the other superpower that was good enough to battle with us. So yeah. Um, so like my thing is, I'm just going to, and hopefully like I don't have to, you know, hopefully I don't go bankrupt. That's one. Hopefully I can just like get a couple jobs really quick and work those jobs and acquire lots of money until I can like get a big bulk of this debt down and off of my back, and then you know maybe pay down my current credit cards, and I can still keep the paying on that one loan for my other credit cards, but and pay my car off and just get that stuff paid off. Um, the next couple years, just working hard because there's nothing else for me to do anyway. So it's just like I might as well just work. There's nothing else for me to do. I'm not like seeing anybody. I'm not. It didn't really work out for me well before the first time when I was like dating there. I didn't really do very well. I didn't do very well here, and this is after the pandemic, man. But it's some of it's on me too because I don't want to go out. I don't want to meet nobody. Um, I've been a problem too. It's not because I do have I have been given chances, but it's just kind of like a lot of these women are, you know, single moms with little kids. Like I don't care if your kids are old. If your kids are like about to be, you know, maybe, you know, pretty soon you're gonna be an empty nester at you know, at some point, like, and that's what I want is an empty nester. You know, I I don't want kids around me. Like I want, you know, I don't mind like kids having kids around me, but I want to be able to have some time where I'm just like enjoying myself with somebody, and then, you know, I've had my kids, and this isn't a good environment to raise a family. It's just not. It's, if you don't have that much of when it comes to resources, and then we're not knowing like what jobs are going to be here, what is shaping with their economy, like a lot is going to change in the next 10 years if we keep on the trajectory with the technology. You know, we're gonna see more robots out here with us physically. Um, you're gonna see more and more job loss. But part of that is like, hey, listen, man, like you should throw me back a cut of like the data that you're using. Like how much, I would like to know how much money they've made off of my data. You know, that would be amazing. Like how much have you made off of my attention? Because like if I don't pay attention or use their platform, that's not good on them. And I know they don't really care because they have so many customers, and that becomes a problem. Where, you know, back in the day, I remember growing up, it's like, first off, growing up, real quick, my first job, I had long hair, and they said that they didn't want me to have long hair there, so I had to either cut my hair or wear a wig, and I chose to wear a wig to keep the long hair. So it was me and another guy that did that. We wanted to have our long hair. And that's how it was back then. You couldn't wear like weird color hair like they do now, and piercings and stuff like that. So like things have changed a lot. Um, and I don't know where I'm going with that, but this video is long enough, so that's it.